This is Intuitive Dreams, and welcome to the weekly forecast. We will be working with a new archangel. He's not really new, but he is new to working with people. Like, he had other functions and other stuff he did. He would work behind the scenes. And I met him maybe a year or two ago, and he was in my dreams. And there's a funny story behind it. I'm not going to share all those details, but he wants to really be known and ask for help from people. And I went on TikTok and I made a bunch of posts, like he did a reading, and I talked about what he wants to help people with. So if you would like to go on there and see what I said on there, it is Intuitive Dreams by Laura. And then the link is usually in the description also. But Jemleel wants to help with families, family karma, trauma, problems, you healing from having a family that was harsh, wants to help with kids, trauma that you have encountered with your kids, or things that have been done to them by others that impeded on their free will, and also the area of love. So that it can encompass everything from friendships to family, anything like that, okay? And the love, like romance and then things of that nature. And then Jeremiel, see, they're similar. Jemleel wants to be connected with a turquoise color. So to connect with Jemleel, it is similar to how you would work with any other archangel. You would just focus on their name, put yourself in protective shield of light. So we're just going to place ourselves, calling in the guardian angels now. You can place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, whatever you would like to do. The guardian angels are coming in, protecting us. And now we're asking Jemleel to come in. And Jemleel is placing us in a turquoise light. And Jemleel is saying, I'm giving you a blessing now of prosperity, peace, and comfort. I want you to know that things are looking up and will turn around. Now, what I get is him saying that a lot of chaos happens, usually so that we can see the truth about things, and then over time it gets better, like when there's a lot of civil unrest or things we see where stuff is unfair, that's why there's a lot of things coming out, and the internet is actually helping that. So a lot of corruption that's been going on for a long time was hidden, and now everybody's aware of everything with a microscope degree almost. And Jemleel is saying that's how we see you guys. We can see everything, like we just think about you, focus on you, and we can read you like a book and get to know you that way by your energy signature. So Jemleel is saying that he's programming the turquoise light for abundance this time, but he said you could work with him all this week, and he said abundance in the areas that he likes, not just financial, but through family trauma, karma, things where you keep having a dark night of the soul because you haven't quite worked through what happened to you as a kid, or you're still carrying things, or you may be unconsciously doing things to people around you that was done to you as a kid. So Jemleel is focused on breaking those patterns and cycles now, and helping people to have more tolerance for each other, and allowing people to be as they are rather than trying to change them or make them go to their point of view. Okay, so we're just taking a breath. And I feel like he's sweeping your energy out as well. So he said, call him in now with his name. So I'm doing this for a little bit longer so you could get to know him and feel his energy. And as I said on TikTok, he said you could focus on my name, Jemleel. And then close your eyes, focus on the turquoise color. So you could wear turquoise, you could have a turquoise necklace, or you can do any type of thing that makes you comfortable, you know, like lighting candles or whatever, you know, things that you do to connect with positive beings. Now, this is kind of funny. He said this, and I was kind of shocked. He said, if you're on the dark side of the Force and you try to connect with me, you know, like a Star Wars thing, if you're on the dark side of the Force and you try to invoke me, and he said this is for all of the archangels, they will see the intention of what the person wants. And so if it's something that's going to harm another person or impede on their free will, they won't help the person. That they only work with love and light. So if they, let's say somebody invokes Jemleel, and then he sees that their heart is not pure, like their intentions for what they want him for is not good, or it's going to hurt people, that he won't help. And what he's saying is, what often happens is that you can't just invoke archangels willy-nilly. It's more of like, they look in your heart, they see, okay, this person's trying, they're struggling, they want the help. So oftentimes they come in, 99% of the time they come in, but if they see that this person is just, you know, they're in a very, very dark place and they're using it for the wrong thing, they won't help. So what happens is they don't come in, but something else comes in and takes its place, and it's something that may not be good. So that's what happens working with, you know, higher forces and stuff like that. And you can always tell because your life just keeps going wrong. And you're like, okay, why does stuff keep going wrong? And I'm talking to these archangels and all this and that. It may be because there's a part of you that wants to hurt other people. You haven't healed this anger or this other things. Or what I'm seeing a lot on the internet is that there's a bunch of people that they're not allowing themselves to awaken naturally. It's that they see on the internet, people are reading cards and they're like, aha, this is a way I can make money. And this is a way that I can gain popularity. So it's an ego thing. The archangels won't help them either, even if they say they're angel readers. So that's another thing that I discovered that was very interesting, because I did notice that. I'll give you an example. I was watching someone and they were like calling in the archangels and they were blessing people on their live or whatever, and what came was not positive. And I was like, you know what, that's not Archangel Michael. That doesn't feel like him. So if you're like me, you'll start to notice, okay, this person, something's going on for them. I'm not going to yell at them or call them out. I'm just going to, I ask Archangel Michael and the angels to please help this person to change their motive about why they are contacting the archangels. Is it for fame and fortune? Is it for acknowledgement of like their heart's not in the right place, you know, like they're just going after material stuff. Now the archangels always tell us that we came here to be abundant, not poor and struggling. So if you read that book, the Millionaire Bible, it's by Catherine Ponder, and she has like a whole series of Millionaires of the Bible, and it's like she kind of cracks the code of what they really meant and what was really going on. It's interesting, you know, if you're into that type of thing. Now everybody has their own point of views and all this and that. I'm only talking to people that resonate with that, okay? If you don't, then leave it, okay? All right, so I went way longer with that than I wanted to, but okay, so now we're wrapping this up, and Jemleel said, connect with me every day. Thank you all, angels and Jemleel, for being here. So if you notice my background, I had to go into the bedroom. I couldn't be in my office because my son has friends here and they're having fun, you know, and they can get rambunctious playing and wrestling and whatever, you know. Okay, so I'm going to be using the first card deck is the Art of Love Tarot. And Jemleel is picking the cards and the angels. So let's just see, Jemleel, what is coming for people? What do we need to know? Our theme for this week we have is the release and metamorphosis. So for this card, what I get is that you're going to be seeing the dark side, the light side, and then it will reverse and you'll see the light side and then the dark side. You're going to be continuing to purge and release is what I get. What I'm getting is don't hang on to your anger. If you suddenly snap on someone or you go right to judgment in a situation with family members or things like that, you know, as soon as you catch yourself, do a mental check-in. Okay, you know what, I'm going to step back. Or things on the internet, stuff that may trigger you. What I get is you may feel more sensitive than usual. And I know that comes up on and off because I have a lot of empaths that watch this. It's important to see that I feel like Jemleel is saying it's good to track your progress because there's a lot of, you know, we had a lunar eclipse and then all this other stuff going on. And it's like, am I ever going to get healed? Is this ever going to stop? And what I get from Jemleel is that you want to think of it as cycles. And it's like the seasons. We change along with the seasons, the cycles, and what's happening on a planetary level. And he is also saying that astrologically, if you follow your sign, you find a good astrologer and you follow your sign, you trust that person, and what they say makes sense, then go with them as well. And then another theme card he wanted to go to was the inner child. And we have flow with the rhythm. Your body is a wondrous thing filled with light and love for you. Create space today to move in tune with your body. So I'll give you an example from me. I was supposed to go to the movies with my friends. They're so funny. They just make me laugh all the time. And then my stomach started swelling up. I've had a migraine. I've kind of been off for a couple days. My body was like, you need downtime. You need downtime. And I had to listen to it. So I finally canceled at the last minute. But I'll see them eventually. I'll see them. Create space today to move in tune with your body, finding a place where you can be alone. In silence or with instrumental music or candles, whatever you need, an Epsom salt bath. Let your body flow how it desires. Get lost in your rhythms and release any notion of how you can or should move. Do not worry how it may appear. So this may be for the people that they're used to always being busy and doing things and taking care of their family. Take a step back and just be, you know what, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. You know, or sometimes we have a hard time relaxing and we're used to, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. No, relax. Relax, unwind. And then our affirmation, and then I'll get to the beginning, middle, and end. I'm going to be using the Archangel Prayers. And that is listed in the description below as well. So we have Archangel Jeremiel and Jemleel. So I added him on this. Thank you for helping me to break through negative family cycles started in my childhood. Please restore peace, wholeness within. Amen. So when I originally made this, all the archangels, you know, they told me use this deck, but then add my name with the other archangel and we'll work together with people. They're very cooperative. I know some of them are like, I do this and you do that, but at other times they work together often. Okay, so let's get to the beginning of the week. We have the card Seven of Trees and Contemplation. So this may be deciding where you want to go next. What's your next trip? What's your next adventure? What's your next break from the everyday grind? Or if you're stuck in the 9 to 5 cycle, or you're working a job just to make money and it's not really your truth, what can I do to make it fun and exciting? Like example, maybe on my breaks I can get out of there and listen to my favorite books on audio, or I can go for a walk around the place, or I can go get my favorite ice cream or whatever, not to say not emotional eating, but what I'm talking about. How can I do a little bit of self-care? I get contemplation about where's my life heading in the future. Am I safe? And Jemleel is saying you are safe always if you believe you are. That Jemleel is saying that a lot of people that watch this channel, they think about stuff and they just they just manifest it. So you've gotten to higher and higher levels. So you really got to watch. Do not think about what you don't want. And then he's saying be present. That's all you need to do. Be present. And then for the middle of the week, we have 3 of Angels and clarification. So in the middle of the week, if you had a problem, something going on, a problem you're trying to fix out, things along those lines, it may be that all of a sudden a light bulb goes off, or you get the answers from the person you've been waiting to hear from. It can also be that you get a clear direction of where you want to head, and then you just follow it. A lot of times, the angels say, and Jemleel says that people can sabotage themselves in so many ways. Like there's a lot of authors that watch us and they haven't finished their books. And they're watching right now. There's a lot of people that are writing music. There's a lot of people that are artists that watch this. Keep going, keep creating, keep having fun. And one thing that Jemleel is saying is that you don't have to be constantly rainbows and unicorns and love and light. We have our cycles of light and dark. And if you can accept that you are both of those things, the fight of light and dark will stop. Because when we start evolving, we want to bury all those parts of us that are dark. And then what happens is it just comes up and kicks us in the butt. We might have something where we just explode on another person or things like that. We keep getting triggered. Love all the parts of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Love it all, and you'll see a reduction in problems in your life. Because sometimes what I'm getting is that the more that you love yourself, the easier your life gets. Okay, the other one we have is 7 of Stars and Faith. So this is for the end of the week and on through the weekend. What I'm getting is that an increase of I hear abundance coming in. So it may be more money comes in, more friendships, opportunities. I'm getting that the stars are spirit, so you may get more spirit guides. You may get more angels that want to work with you because of what you've been doing. What I'm getting, Jemleel is saying, ask me to bless your day every day and see what happens. And just be open. I know that for people that are new to this type of thing, or they're just watching, what I'm getting is that Jemleel wants people to know that the angels are really becoming more tangible to people, not because the negative forces are involved in any way. It's because they want people to have more free will for things, and that it's getting to where people are so distracted by the internet. There's so many distractions, video games. There's so many distractions that people are not working on what they set out to do in their lifetime. So the angels are now being way more visible to help people to finish what they started. And let me see. Oh, the shadow work card. So I'm going to use shadow work. Let's see. What is the shadow work topic that Jemleel wants people to work on? I heard one from the bottom. Defensiveness. Hear other people's perspectives and feelings. Shift your focus to them. It's not always about you. So it may be somebody hears this reading and they take it in that it's about them. Like I'm directly talking about them, or like I have something against them, and really I'm not. I'm just giving messages. So if you get triggered by this, get your pen and paper out, write it out and say, okay, when Laura said this, this hit for me. And now, what else does that mean? Why would I get defensive about this or that? Why would I want to attack another person? Why would I want to? And he's telling me to tell a story. Okay, I got on this Facebook group, and sometimes with those groups, you got to be careful, because there's people that say they're love and light, and then they're just like everybody else. They're trolling, and they're starting fights with people, and they're trying to push their own beliefs on people. And that's what I encountered. And in the spiritual circles, people often debate about if charging for spiritual services is right. And I think I did a video on TikTok about this. I had my own issues with charging. So I charged way too low, and I gave so much time, and it ended up that my life, I didn't make that much money. I wasn't doing that well, and all my jobs kept failing that I was doing. Like I was always with like a hard boss. Not all my bosses were bad, but I did have some that were really hard or harsh on me. And then I was just like, you know what, I can't do this. And I left. Like I had at least 2 jobs where I just walked out because it was that bad. And maybe I could have handled it better, but it got to the point where I came from a lot of family trauma. So a lot of bad stuff had to happen before I would leave a situation. But now I don't do that anymore. I'm just like, that's it, I'm leaving. But anyway, what happened is, on that Facebook site, I started to get triggered by this guy who was saying it's wrong, and he was going through everybody's messages that were saying that they are charging for services and how they discovered their purpose. He was attacking all of them. And then he started getting people that were doing it with him, attacking people. And I was like, you know what? That's your ego. And you're doing what some religious groups do, is where they push their beliefs on others. So, I wanted to go and start fighting the guy. But what I got is they told me to bless him. But they did say that they wanted me to contact the moderators and make them aware of what was happening, so I did that. And it's just something that I just don't like people that try to bully others. Religious institutions and churches, they're not doing stuff for free. Somebody is tithing and giving them money, or else they would not survive. People are constantly donating to them. So for us, we're not priests or any of that type of thing. So, and if you got called and all your jobs keep failing, and they say, they told me the more that you waste time at a job you don't like is time you could be helping to save somebody's life. When they said that to me, I was like, I'm going to charge. And then they kept telling me how much to charge. They're like, okay, it's time to move up and charge more. It's time to move up. And every time I moved up and charged more, I had fears. Nobody's going to buy a reading. But then I realized it had to do with my self-worth. If people love me, they'll pay for stuff and things like that, Okay, so you guys got a whole lot today. So thank you for your patience with this. And I think I might do a class on healing for that specific topic, because there's like so much debate about stuff needs to be free. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It depends on the person and their situation. If they can live comfortably and they already have a lot of money, then yeah, don't charge for services if you don't want to. But if spirit and everything keeps going wrong with your jobs and it doesn't work out, then that means you're supposed to have your whole life to get dedicated to spirit, and you need to charge to live. Okay, so the other card we have, this is another shadow card. So if this triggers you, it may be about you or people around you that you notice the behavior, okay? And then again, you can work on it. Codependency. This is a relationship addiction. You are relying too heavily on the other person for your sense of self-worth. Give yourself more self-love. So take your time with that one. You could pause this, see what comes out for you or hits. Codependency could also be not just about a relationship, but maybe you're dependent on a parent, a friend, or things like that. Okay? All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here and take care.